Welcome to the class again. We are discussing about stereoselectivities in Diels-Alder reaction. I'll give two more examples for this. The benzenoid diene can also be generated from this. So when we heat this molecule, this will undergo fission. So the bond between carbon and silicon will break down. So the bonding electrons will be moving towards polarized towards benzene ring. Then this double bond is polarized like this. So nitrogen being positive, it will take the bonding electron pair and leave. So it generates a benzenoid diene, as we have explained in previous cases also. Then it will undergo Diels-Alder reaction with this. You write the product. What is important here is whether it is a cis product or trans product. Okay, you can write whatever the carbonyl you want, you can write it below the name. So when we do Diels-Alder reaction between these two, this is diene, this is dienophile, because these two groups are inside, so they will occupy above the plane. As I said, they may be above the plane or they may be below the plane. It doesn't matter. What is important is both of them must be cis. Both of them must be cis. So this will be above the plane. Both the carboxylic group and hydrogen will be above the plane. When we treat this with phosphorus oxyazide, we are generating NCO. We are generating NCO. So oxygen, of course, you try the mechanism and you post it in the group. I will also correct it if it is possible. When we treat a phosphorus oxyazide with a carboxylic acid, we are directly generating NCO. NCO. So when this molecule is treated with methanol, what we will get is a carbamate. We will get a carbamate. I'll give the product. Here we are getting NC double bond O, N double bond, C double bond O. When we add methanol, it becomes like this. Okay. Of course, hydrogen is also there. This is called carbamate. Carbonate. If it is an ester, we used to say carbonate. It is amide also. Ester as well as amide. So that is why it is called carbamate. carbamate. This is called carbamate. Then what will happen if it is treated with hydrogen and palladium and carbon? You write the product. So here, product of two functions, one of them is polynomial, one of them is trinomial. Now we will see endo rule. What is endo rule? Endo rule means the substituents will be endo in the product. You know what is endo product, what is exo product. Right. When we treat the cyclopentadiene with another cyclopentadiene, one of them will act as a diene, another one will act as dienophile. Right. At room temperature, this will undergo a Diels-Alder reaction to generate a product of this kind. That means the two hydrogens here, they are above the plane. The two hydrogens are above the plane, whereas this double bond will be below the plane. It is just a dimer of the cyclopentadiene. Okay, cyclopentadiene is very unstable in monomeric form. It immediately combines with another cyclopentadiene and undergoes Diels-Alder reaction to generate a dimer. In this dimer, it is an endo product. Endo means the substituents are below the plane. The substituents are below the plane. So when we have an extra double bond in the dienophile, when we have an extra double bond in the dienophile, then the substituent must always be endo. That substituent must always be endo. Okay, right. How do we generate this cyclopentadiene monomer? Generally, this is done by heating dimer at 165 to 250 degrees centigrade. This is what is called retro Diels-Alder reaction. When we heat this dimer, it will undergo retro Diels-Alder reaction to give the monomer. So this is what is called as cracking of cyclopentadiene. So whenever we want to do a reaction with cyclopentadiene, we will take the dimer, we will heat it, we will distillate it at high temperatures, so we will get monomer. We will use it immediately. See, it is not possible to store the cyclopentadiene monomer because at room temperature itself it will undergo Diels-Alder reaction. Okay, right. Please take this. I will explain why is dienophile with an additional double bond will give only the endo product. Okay, I'll give the mechanism. Take this. Of course, exo product is also possible, but a very small amount. Exam product is also possible, but it is very, very less. Please mute yourself. Yeah. Be fast. Okay. Now I will explain the endoselectivity using molecular orbital diagrams. When we want to have a Diels-Alder reaction, it must be between the HOMO of diene and LUMO of dieno. Now there are two possibilities. There are two possibilities. Yeah. When you are taking a molecular orbital diagram, you must take like this. Okay. One must be HOMO, another must be LUMO, right? One must be HOMO, another one must be LUMO. What is HOMO? HOMO is Site2, butadiene only, right? This is butadiene only, so it must be Site2. What is Site2? There is one node. Say for example, if it is positive lobe, this is also positive lobe, then we will have a node here, then these two will be below them, right? Similarly, here if you want, this is a double bond, this is a double bond, then it must be LUMO. What is LUMO? LUMO will have two nodes. LUMO will have two nodes. For example, if it is below the plane, there will be a node, then it will be above the plane, this is also above the plane, then there will be second lobe node, so this will be below the plane. Right. For example, think that this is diene, this is dienophile. Of course, both are 5-membered rings. Then, when we look at the bond formation like this, say for example, these two carbons are forming bond with this this double bond. Right. These are the end carbons. Okay, in the diene. And if we say this is the double bond which is undergoing Diels-Alder reaction with the diene. Yes, we have bonding interaction between these two orbitals. Again, we have bonding interaction between these two orbitals. So when it forms a bonding diene is both are having suprafacial bonding interaction, bond formation is possible. Then when we look at these orbitals which are not involved in the bonding, so that means another double bond. Now you look at this, these two orbitals are placed just below the diene so that it is having additional bonding interaction. It is having additional bonding interaction. This is what is, of course, these are not involved in bonding. These are not involved in bonding, but still they have bonding interaction. Bonding interaction is always a stabilizing interaction. So this is what is called secondary orbital interaction. Secondary orbital interaction. So when we want to, interaction. When we want to have an endo product, in the endo product, these orbitals which are not involved in the bonding, they are having bonding interactions with the diene. So that means they are having stabilizing interactions. Because of that, endo product is always possible. What is endo product? I will try to explain it. I don't know how far I will be successful. Yeah, just take these notes. I'll try to explain it. Take the notes. Okay. Yeah, give me a moment. I'll try to explain this. What is endoselectivity? Right? If it is a diene, then a dienophile will try to approach this diene. Then, of course, I'm not writing the complete dienophile. Yeah, we have an additional double bond in the dienophile. Then, what will happen if it is like this? That means in the plane or above the plane, it is an exo product. When we want to have an exo product, there is no interaction between the double bond which is not involved in the reaction with the diene. So there is no interaction. But when we want to have endo product, what is endo product? It must be below the plane. When we have endo product, the double bond which is below the plane, in that case, it is possible to have interaction between the orbitals on this double bond and the orbitals on the diene. Okay, the front orbitals will all involve in bonding with this dienophile, but the backside carbon, these orbitals now they will involve in interaction with the dienophile. So like this. Okay, so the orbitals here, now they will interact like this. So what we can do, we will try to fold it. Okay, we will try to fold it. In that case, what happens? The orbitals here, this will fold like this, so that they will have interaction between this double bond and the dienophile carbon. So there will be a secondary orbital interaction. So this is what a secondary orbital interaction. But when we look at the endo product formation, there will be no secondary orbital interaction. Bonding interactions are always stabilizing forces. If there is no bonding interactions, then there is no additional stabilization. Right. So it will be HOMO. It is a Psi2. LUMO is Psi3, where we can say if it is below the plane, then below. Of course, this is having bonding interaction. This is also having bonded interaction. So when you want to write exo product is also possible. Absolutely, there is no problem. But what is the difference from here is, in an endo product, there is a stabilizing force, secondary orbital interaction. Whereas in the exo product, of course, bond formation takes place. Both are bonding interactions only. Bonding interaction. Both will form suprafacial bonding interaction. But we don't have secondary orbital interaction. So that is why endo addition is more possible compared to exo. Yeah, please take the notes. So write the notes, you take it. Maximum overlap of the pi orbitals of the diene and dienophile favors the formation of the endo-adduct. Maximum overlap of the pi orbitals of the diene and dienophile favors the formation of the endo-adduct. So which means secondary orbitals overlap between the dienophile So in the endo product, secondary orbital interaction is possible, which is a stabilizing interaction. This endo selectivity is further improved by using a Lewis acid as a catalyst. If we use a Lewis acid as a catalyst, then this endo selectivity will further increase. Now we will look at some examples for endo selectivity. When we have an additional double bond, as I said, what is additional double bond? It may be a C double bond C, or it may be a C double bond O, or it may be any double bond, N double bond O or S double bond O, it doesn't matter, okay? An additional double bond, C double bond N. Right. In this case, we have nitro group, where in the nitro we have nitrogen oxygen double bond. So what is the product? There will be bond formation between these carbons. Of course, before, from previous knowledge, we can write a bicyclic system. Right. So we can easily write this below the plane, endo product. It is the endo product. Exo is also possible, but endo is the major. Why? Why? Because it secondary orbital interactions favors, sorry. So this is a methyl group, okay? This is a methyl group. When we do reaction between these two systems, yes, it will be an endo product. It will be an endo product. But as I said, exo product is also possible, but it, I'm sorry, there will not be any double bond, right? An exo product is also possible, exo product, but its yield will be very, very less. So this is the major product, this is the minor product. Why? As I said earlier, in an endo product, we are having secondary orbital interactions, which are a stabilizing interaction. So I'll try to write it again in a planar form, how the secondary orbital interactions will take place. Now, if we want to form a bond, then we need to write like this. Then the orbitals on these two carbons and the orbitals in this substituent, they will have interaction. Whereas if we want to write the exo product, in that case, you see the orbitals on substituent and the orbitals on these two carbons, they are far away. So in that case, there is no additional stabilization. So that is why endo product is a major product, whereas exo product is a minor product. If we do this reaction in dichloromethane at 0 degrees centigrade, because as I said, it is most reactive diene, so we don't need to heat for a Diels-Alder reaction when we use cyclopentadiene. Okay, even at 0 degrees centigrade itself, it will undergo a Diels-Alder reaction. Here we will get 80% of exo, 20% of endo. But when we use a Lewis acid, as I said, Lewis acid will increase the endo selectivity. So in this case, even at minus 70 degrees centigrade itself, and the same DCM as the solvent, we will get 100% of endo product, 0% of exo product. Okay. At the same time, water will also catalyze this reaction. If we do this reaction in a water solvent, then also we will get 96% of the endo product, only just 4% of the exo product. Okay. So this is how we can increase the selectivity and yield of the reaction if we use a Lewis acid in the Diels-Alder reaction. Not only the selectivity or increase in the yield, one more important point is the temperature. Generally, we will use high temperatures for Diels-Alder reactions. But you see here, in the first case, when we are not using any Lewis acid, we are doing this reaction at 0 degrees centigrade. But when we are using a Lewis acid, see, we are doing it minus 70 degrees centigrade. That means when we use a Lewis acid, the reaction temperature conditions, we don't need very high temperatures. When we use Lewis acid, we can perform the Diels-Alder reaction at very low temperatures also. Okay, so that means we don't need to supply high energy. So Lewis acid will increase the selectivity. At the same time, it will decrease the energy requirements. So we don't need to reflux the reaction mixture. We don't need to supply high energies like 150 to 300 degrees centigrade. Not like that. If we use a reaction, if we use a Lewis acid in a Diels-Alder reaction, we can conduct the Diels-Alder reaction at room temperature, or even below to room temperature also it is possible. Okay, of course here it is more reactive, so that is why generally the reaction occurs at 0 degrees. But I'll give other examples where without Lewis acid we need to have very high temperatures, but with Lewis acid we just need to do the reaction at room temperature. I'll just give one more example for today. So here we should have cis principle as well as endo product, because these two are on same side, they will give cis product. At the same time, we have an additional double bond, S double bond over here. So this will lead to endo product. It will be SO2 pH below the plane. Here also it will be below. So here we can see cis principle as well as endo. And what will be the product if we treat this with the sodium amalgam in methanol? The only thing is the two SO2 pH groups will undergo reduction, so there will be a double bond formation between these two carbons.